in depth on stuff, okay?
Okay, sounds great. Just let me know when I'm on.
You're going to be on. You'll hear me. Just stay on the phone, okay?
Okay.
All right, we're getting ready to start the show now.
Okay.
All right. Oh my God. Hello. We're here again. Welcome to Foster's Animal World TV. It is Tuesday, June 16th, but if you're watching this a month from now, forget about that. Hi, I'm Foster Corder, and thanks for tuning in again. We've been away a while. Paula Archer, is Paula with us today out there?
Hi.
Look at there, through the miracles of science and technology, you know, it's a, hey, how are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. You still in Alabama? Arkansas?
I think so.
Okay, so I can never tell with you, man. You know, you move around so much. You know, are you finished moving for a change for a minute?
I'm still unpacking. Yes.
Okay. Hey, well, we got a great show for you today. But before we tell you about the guest, I want to say that Paula, you know, I mean, I know it's things going on, so I do want you to know that I did not lie. I am black, and, you know, my stepmom is white, but I am 100% black. So if you want to nominate me for NAACP president in Spokane or any other cities, I'm down for that, okay?
Okay, I'll make a note.
All right, and based upon what's going on, I could nominate you, it seems, too, you know, so. And if anybody, you know, well, no, we're not going to go there, because I was just going to say, you know, I know there's some places down south that they could probably use a new member of the Klan, and if anybody, you know, if we're going to start switching up, but that's a whole nother story. Hey, hey, we got some different things going on around the country. You know, we've been away, everybody. I know I got tons of emails and all kinds of stuff, and we're so sorry about the whole confusion with last week, but we're going to do that again. The situation going on in Hesperia, we're going to get the mayor back in here, people from the city council. We're going to have, we're getting a story done on us in the Hollywood Weekly magazine. We're going to have her back in here and a couple other things going on, as well as... and you know, I can't remember a lot of stuff, Paula, because somebody told me I was getting old, so evidently they're right. What else? Oh, God. Anyway, but so why don't we, in the meantime, while I'm waiting on my memory to catch up with us, it's still so early here in California. You know, I know in Arkansas it's damn near afternoon, huh? Right? Okay. So, you know, you're lucky. So, why don't we save some dogs, man, to start this day off right? I mean, that would be perfect. Actually, before we save some dogs, we got a news caller, right? Do I have Karen, one of our correspondents that keep us up on what's going on around the world? You know, oh, I know what it was, Paula. See? Okay, before Karen. Utah, in India. God, I'm sorry. You know, our show is worldwide and everything, and I get so many emails and I can't answer them all. But the people who know me, and they send personal stuff on Facebook and things. Utah in Nepal. Sorry about that's one of the big losers from last week's show, because you know we were trying to catch up with him and find out since the earthquakes, what's his situation is never good in India with animals and the sacrifices and all the stuff that's going on over there. But since those 2 earthquakes, it has gotten so much worse. And we've, tried to support the donations. Well, I've been on a movie, so I've been out of pocket for a while. So I'm not going to personally lie and say I've been supporting the efforts in India and stuff, because I haven't. I've just been trying to support my 2 kids by working. But I know that there has been movement in different groups doing different things that they made me aware of to support him and his stuff that's going on in India. So maybe, just maybe, we'll get a call from him, and if we don't, and we can't catch up, we'll do that next week. All right? So, do we have Karen on the phone?
Yes, you do. Hey, Foster. Hey, Paula. Hey, everybody.
Hey, how are you, Karen?
I'm okay.
Good.
Hang in there.
So, again, you are one of our many correspondents, that check in around the United States and stuff. What city and state are you in again, Karen?
California.
See there? Northern California.
Crack reporter.
Oh, okay, that's right. No, Rock says one of our crack reporters. I was like, no, those are reporters on crack. It was like, so, no, but Karen, okay, so I'm like one of our correspondents all around the country and the world, and here it is, she's right next door. Yeah. She's probably next door to the studio. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
all right, well, somebody called in from New York and Florida. At least we'll go. So, Karen, what's going on? Tell us real quick before we go to these dogs. Tell us what's happening that people need to know about in your world.
Okay, this is really critical. There's a protest. LA Animal Service and Mayor Garcetti on the Facebook. You go to Facebook to that page. It's a public group. So you go to Protest LA Animal Service and Mayor Garcetti. They're going to be protesting. We really need the support of everyone in California. I don't care where you come from, but this is for the animal shelters. And it's Sunday, June 28th at 9 a.m. The address is 605 South Irving Boulevard in Windsor Square, zip code 90005. And like I say, it's an open group. Please go to your Facebook page and join and let Paul know that you're going to be there. We really need to support the homeless, innocent animals on death row that are in these killing shelters. It's really important. And we'll be protesting on the sidewalk, not on Gil Garcetti's, nobody's property.
Wait a minute, Karen. This is at the mayor's house?
It's in front of his house.
Right, in Hancock Park, right? Okay.
Well, it's at Windsor Square. I don't know if that's Hancock.
Okay, yeah, for the most part, yeah. So they all look alike. Yes, it's the gated, guarded, wonderful houses community. So dig this. You said that's the 28th, right?
That's the 28th of June at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Okay, so that's a ways away. What is that, a Saturday or a Sunday? Sunday?
That's on the Sunday.
Okay, so they're going to protest at the mayor's house about a week and a half, 2 Sundays from now. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. So we got time for this one. I want you to, I'm back now, and I want to be aware of this because, hey, this is happening in Los Angeles, which happens to be, close to where I'm at. So we'll have the Foster's Animal World TV camera crew down there and, be out there, and everybody around the world will get a chance to see this, see the protest. So we do need your support. So tell them again, what's the page? Because you got to come back. You come back on the Friday show and next Tuesday and pump this up some more for sure. But go ahead. What is the Facebook page?
Okay, the Facebook page is Protest LA Animal Services and Mayor Garcetti, and it's a public group. So,
okay, so you guys couldn't find a short name, huh?
Well, Paul was in charge of it, and I'm helping him get people to recognize what's going on here.
Okay, this is Paul, which Paul?
Paul Durango.
Okay, do I know him?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right, yeah, because, we had a couple of Pauls come and pass and review through here. Okay, so that is protest LA, go ahead. Because people, you're going to see this on YouTube, so you can play it back, but just like, I'm stupid. Protest, say it again.
You're so funny. Okay, it's protest LA, Animal Services, and Mayor Garcetti.
Okay, and you know what? And while we're out there, while we're protesting, because I want to get to the root of the problem, but I don't want to. What I want you to do, Karen. This is what I want you. I want you, because we got an exciting guest with Chip talking about chips and stuff in your dog, which is one of the main issues for us around here is, responsibility and lost dogs, because all these dogs wouldn't be in the damn shelter if they had chips, other than the ones that are in there because there's so much breeding, the overbreeding and the irresponsible owners and stuff. But what I want you to do is I want you to call back in after, let's say, like 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, and you can Skype in if you want, and we can give this more attention because, I want to get more about the chips and stuff and get informed about, this sponsor or not sponsor, but our guest. Listen, that's psychological. That's a Freudian slip, Paula. Okay, yeah. That's it. When you know how I feel about sponsors and chips, and see, because this is a sponsor that we could. This is a guest that we could support as a sponsor, actually, because what they have is good and it works with our overall agenda, So we might talk to them about that later on, because, from what I could tell, Steve and his company and the stuff that they're doing is like right on the money. And they've actually got a friend of the show, Richard is. So we'll get to them. So anyway, Karen, you call back after 10, okay? Because we'll still have an hour and a half after that. And we'll get more into that, okay?
Okay, it sounds good, because this is for all the animals that are end up in the shelters. For whatever reason, we want to stop the killing shelters altogether. I mean, it's really going to be a big deal.
That's right. Hey, I wonder, do they chip a cow? I know they brand cows, but do they chip them? That's an interesting. All right, Karen, love you, baby, and I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay, bye, Buster.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, so, Paula?
Yes?
See, that is Protest LA Shelter Killing Garcetti Group or something like that. I know if you put in...
Honey, I just sent you the link.
Oh, you sent me the link. Duh, there we go. So anyway... Everybody out there, just go to wherever Paula sent that link, and you'll check it out. But that's the June 28th. We'll be out there. It'll be a good chance to, see a bunch of people in L.A. And if you just happen to be in town during that period on the 28th of June, come on out and protest the mayor's house, which I'm sure is going to make him totally happy. And but I can't blame them. They're going straight for the juggler, Like, damn it, you want to get some attention, we go to the mayor's house, the hell with his office. Let's see what his kids think about that. Daddy, it's people out there, so he's probably sending them to Palm Springs for the weekend. But anyway, so Paula, let's save some dogs, man. Start this show off right and this day off right, because, what's our record now? 12 dogs. We've saved 12 dogs off one show still, right?
Actually, that's the record.
Yeah, well,
so far.
Right. We ain't gonna talk. I mean, that's something to be.
That was a Friday show.
That was a Friday show. Well, that's amazing, because we're only on for 1 hour, and we got 12 dogs saved all around the country. And which, if you in rescue, you know how hard it is just to get one dog saved, just find a home for one dog and rescue and save a life, for Paula to, do the work that she does and just do the hard work and get people to pay attention and to give 12 animals new homes and save those lives. That's incredible. And, Paula, we probably would have only had to save 6 of them if they had chips in them, huh? Well,
exactly.
Yeah, or if somebody hadn't been, so irresponsible and have, been breeding dogs in the backyard and doing all of the stuff that, people do to make it, so that there's so many animals in the shelter in the first damn place. So I'm going to turn it over to you and Rock, and you guys can find some homes for some babies, and then we'll go to a commercial for our only sponsor, Pitbull Energy Drink. Which the American Diabetes Association has endorsed, by the way, so it's not like that other stuff. It is something that's, good for you, and you don't have to worry about the shakes and the sugar and yada, yada, yada. So you guys take it away, and I'll be here when you get.
Okay, are you ready, Rock?
Ready.
Okay, first up, we have Granger. Would you look at this handsome guy? He is an eye catcher for sure. He is listed as a fawn and white Doberman mix. He's past the puppy chew-up stage at 3 to 4 years old. He was found on County Road 41. No chip. His parents should have gotten a hold of Steve, who's our guest a little bit later this morning. Now, next up is a poster for Urgence. As you can see, Saving Animals from Euthanasia in Texas, located in Smith County, Tyler, Texas, has a lot of cuties on their urgent list. Do you see the love of your life on here? Now we have Tank. Poor Tank. He is accused of being a little too happy and playful. But hey, he is only a year old. This cutie is active and ready to go. He don't even care where he goes as long as he goes. So come by and give him a ride, then make his day and give him a home. Now we have Bull. I love this guy. This one will surely steal your heart. Bull is a big boy at 2 years old. He is 65 pounds of pure love and muscle. He is an easygoing, gentle giant, just waiting for someone to come along that he can call his own. Now we have Cleopatra. Poor Cleopatra. Do you suppose she was looking for her Julius Caesar or Mark Antony when she was found out on County Road 21? Well, her trip was detoured and not in a good way. She ended up in the shelter. Now she needs a way out. Can you help this sweet girl? Now we have Puddin'. This girl is only a year old, and she is a strikingly good-looking dog. Anybody remember the old rhyme? What's your name? Puddin' tame? Ask me again, I'll tell you the same. It's just a silly rhyme that reminds me of this puddin'. Now we have Addison, and she is a cutie. I'm sorry, but they should have named this little girl Lucy. She reminds me of Lucille Ball with that little quirky smile like she was just in something that she shouldn't have been. Take a chance on this one, folks. I know there would be some great entertainment here. These dogs are located at Smith County, Tyler, Texas. You can contact the shelter at email shelter@smith-county.com. The shelter coordinator is Nanette Moss. They are not an open facility. They are noted as a holding facility, but they are staffed Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. That's all I have for this set today, Foster.
Well, all right. Okay, then. Yeah, Poontang. Was it Pootie Tang? Was that what Puddin'?
Puddin'.
Oh, I thought it was Pootie Tang. Yeah, but Pootie Tang. You don't know that movie, do you, Paula?
No, sorry.
Oh, that's a good one. You might want to rent that sometime when you sitting around with nothing to do and you feel like laughing. You know?
Yeah,
I
every day.
I think that was a Chris Rock production. You know. Yeah, with Wanda Sykes and I forget the guy's name, but man, they were funny as hell. You know, I laughed. Okay, so I think it's time for us to Skype and get Steve up in here. and we can, inform the world about what he does and this product and everything, because, it's as I understand it, and I'm gonna probably blow it totally, but Steve can get it right because it's his thing. It's about chips, man. Chips. They go in your animal. I don't care if you got a dog, a cat. Can you chip a lizard? The snake? I don't know. Okay, but chip a snake? Huh? Oh, Steve's a cutie. All right, you got to see Steve's Skype picture is something else. How are you, sir? There he is. Oh, there's a real person. Is that your dog, man?
No, it's just something I like to put on for Skype calls. So.
Well, you're my kind of guy. I wish our audience could have seen that, because anybody that's got a sense of humor, that's the world we live in,
Yeah, he won his dog contest.
Oh, okay. I can believe that, boy, because he's a looker. That's for damn sure. Mom used to say, and I tried to instill it in my kids, well, the first part is me. I try to make it so that you laugh. I try to make my daughters understand laughter is the thing that you want to do, because my mother used to say, it's a whole bunch of stuff that's going to make you want to cry. In this life, So if you approach it with a good, open attitude to want to laugh first most of the time, then it'll be a lot harder for those assholes to make you cry. So welcome, Steve.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem. Hey, what's the name of your company to start off with?
So our company is Data Mars. We're a microchip manufacturer, and we go under the brand name of PETLINK.
PETLINK.
So our website, PETLINK.
Okay. And I'm pulling that up. And so what exactly is PETLINK?
Okay, so PETLINK is a microchip registration database. We have millions of pets registered there, and it's a microchip. So this is, you can see it here, our syringe for our microchip. So like I said, we've been manufacturing microchips for more than 26 years. We're one of the largest internationally.
So wait a minute, Steve, I can do this myself?
I wouldn't recommend the individual microchipping their own pet. No, it should be done by an animal health professional.
Oh, okay, okay. I was just making that clear right off the bat, because we got a whole bunch of, at-home mechanics and everything else in our audience, So, I just want to make sure everybody understands you cannot take Steve's product and take your dog into the garage and put your chip in yourself. And you can't chip your wife. You can't chip your old man. Forget about it. You're just going to have to stay with hiring that detective. But, you can get the dog chipped, But if you take one of Steve's chips to the dentist, and while your old man is asleep and they, doing that filling, you can have him slide a chip in there too, I bet. So go ahead, Steve. That's a whole nother story. You can tell I got issues.
So, I tell you what, if you want to, I prepared a small presentation to help people just understand a little bit more about what microchipping is.
There you go, buddy.
Look at that.
I don't know why I didn't think about that. Yeah, let's see your presentation.
So
okay, let me see what I can bring you up here.
Let me see when you can. Let me know when you can see.
Okay, I can see
the slides.
It. Yeah, my engineer, Rock, our crack engineer, or as we wonder, our engineer on crack, Rock, he's got it. He knows this technology and happens to have your presentation up on the screen. This is amazing. Okay, so go right ahead, Steve.
Okay, fantastic. So obviously one of the biggest questions is always why microchip pets? And if you take a look or you're in a crowd, one of every 3 pets will go lost during their lifetime. So if you've got 2 friends with you, one of your pets will probably go lost.
Steve, I'm gonna stop you right there for a second, okay? Because and I just want you to know, I don't know what your time is like, but we got plenty of time, okay? I allocated plenty of time for you because this is such an important issue, all right, for the public and not just our audience. everybody, if you can spell dog or cat, you need to know about chips. You know, if you've seen one, if your friend's got a dog or cat or horse or whatever, you need to know about this product, because this is how we cut down on the problem of dogs in the shelter. Correct, Steve?
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
if you want them to come back home, this is the way you do it, man. And so since you said that on your number one note, that one out of, ever how many, more than 1 million end up, but one out of whatever that number you said end up in the shelter. I got to tell you, I got 5 dogs, man. I got one that's been to the shelter at least 5 times. Okay. And he's an escape artist. And as I've told people before, I think the neighborhood kids, when they knew we were giving away rewards, they were opening my gate and letting them out. So we put locks on them. But I did, before I knew about you guys, I did get him chipped. And that is the only way her. And that's the last 3 times that she's been out. That's the only way that she came back home, man. So
That's excellent.
Yeah. So your product works, and I don't know if we have the PETLINK chip in her, because to be honest with you, I didn't deal with it. My wife dealt with it. I just told her to get a chip in him, and so go right ahead. I just wanted to speak to that moment right there, because that's the truth.
Sure. And this next slide here actually is a startling statistic for most people. So you can see that when a dog or a cat doesn't have a microchip, the chance of them being reunited is very, very small. So less than 22% of dogs and only 2% of cats are reunited with their pet owners without a microchip. And that's because most of the time when they show up in the shelter, they don't have the collar tag on. So a collar tag is still a good way to identify a pet, but obviously they probably got off the leash or got out of the collar to get out of the yard, and so they're found without any kind of identification. But if they have a microchip, the chance of that cat or dog being reunified goes up dramatically, as you can see in the chart. So. Okay. So again, why microchip? It definitely helps pets get back to their families. The other big thing, as you mentioned already, Foster, is it helps reduce the stray animal population and shelter overcrowding. And it gets that dog out of the shelter, if they do end up there, so much faster. And the shelter workers in animal rescue groups do such a great job and work so hard to try and get those lost pets back home. And of course, by reducing the shelter population and getting those pets back where they belong, back with their families, hopefully we're reducing the euthanasia rates that are seen in shelters. It's still staggering how many pets are euthanized in this country every year.
It really is. So, it really, really is.
Of course, there's a lot of options out there, or choices for microchipping. In the U.S., there isn't a mandated standard, but there is an international standard. So our chips all meet what was called the International ISO compliance standards. That means it's a 15-digit number, and it operates or transmits at a certain frequency. So over the past 20 years or so, there's been different chips that use different frequencies, but only a chip that has the 134.2 and uses just a 15-digit number, that's the only chips that are accepted overseas. So if someone has a pet's chip and it has a chip that is 9 digits or 10 digits, that won't be brought into Europe or probably anywhere outside the U.S. if they like to travel with their pets.
Oh, really?
That's one thing. Yep.
That's interesting. So you mean when I go to customs with my dog, will they tell me this prior to?
Yes. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, prior to me leaving the United States, or will I end up showing up at the airport in France, stepping off after I pay for this expensive ass ticket, and then I get hit with this?
Yeah, certainly anybody traveling overseas with their pets should do their homework and go online and look for information. So most of the time, a country will require that a pet have a series of updated shots, and they have to be delivered in a very specific time period. Some pets find it very cumbersome and time-consuming. They won't do it, but there's usually you can find a local vet that will. So there's we call it a pet passport that has to be done.
Sounds like a visa. So, the chip.
Yeah, it's a
exactly.
a visa for dogs, huh?
Yep.
Oh.
So go online for the country that you're planning to travel to, or countries and find out that country's requirement, and then talk to your vet about having that paperwork and those shots and things done. And again, it has to be a ISO microchip for that to be allowed into that country. So, and actually Hawaii is pretty stringent as well. Obviously within the U.S. you can go from state to state without much problem. Pet traveling to Hawaii actually has to do the same type of paperwork and passport work. So, but our registration, our chips are PETLINK.net. Our chips are always sold through veterinarians with lifetime registration. So when you pay your vet for the microchipping fee and they implant a PETLINK microchip, you'll never pay PETLINK a dime for registering the chip or updating your information. Some microchips will charge pet owners a fee to update their phone number or address when they move. And in Foster, it's unfortunate that so many people forget when they move or get a new phone number or email address. One of the things they always forget is to update the pet's registration information. And if you don't have a current email or current phone number on that registration, it's going to be very difficult to track it down to get your pet returned back to you.
But tell me this: how much does it cost to get the average dog? You know, I mean, I know, you know, we'll probably get into that, but what is it? What is the cost? It's like, well, before that, I guess what I'm asking is, do I buy my chip from you, and you mail it to me, and then I go online and buy it from you, and then I go to the vet and they install it, or what?
No, you would go to your vet and ask them about their microchipping service. They purchase the microchips through animal health distributorships, the same place they purchase their vaccines and things. So they would have the microchip for you and then charge you for the implantation and for the cost of the chip. So what they charge varies greatly by country or state and city. Be anywhere from $20. We heard of one clinic last week in Texas actually charging $105 for the international chip, which is very, very high. Typically, a vet is only going to charge $35 to $45.
Yeah, we want to know about who that is because we'll give him some free publicity.
Well, we did a good job educating them. They actually were carrying a non-ISO chip and a national chip. They were only charging $5 for the non-international chip, $105 for the international. We said, look, we got a better service for you. We got a better chip for you at a lower cost than what they're paying. And so I think they're now doing everything for $35.
Well, that was my second question is, how many different chips are there? And if I go to my vet, which particularly, let's just say Covina, California, you know, veterinarian's office, who just got a new building, and you know they keep contemplating being sponsors for us. And I just gave them a plug, hey. So, but do I ask for the PETLINK chip or what? I mean, are they just going to stick a chip in my dog and I'm thinking I'm getting your product, or do you guys make them all?
We don't make them all. So we're different than most microchip providers in the U.S. in that we are an actual microchip manufacturer. So we have control of our own products and components that go into the chips. We also manufacture microchip scanners. Mars is actually credited with bringing the first universal, what's called a universal scanner, to the U.S. in the early 2000s. So because there were chips being sold that use different frequencies, you need a scanner that can read all the frequencies that are used, so you make sure you find a chip if it's in a pet. So we manufactured the first scanner that could do that reading of the 3 different frequencies that are used in the U.S. I don't know if you can see this here, but this is our latest microchip scanner.
Can we hold on, Rock's going to put you on the screen. Can we show his scanner? Yeah, hold it up a little higher there, Steve. Yeah.
See.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
That's the newest one?
This is our latest PETLINK compact microchip scanner. So very small. Yep. And does a great read distance. So I'll actually scan a chip here real quick. And so I don't know if you can actually see that number, but that's what shows up. It's a 15-digit number. Okay.
It's a little big for,
right,
but that's okay for your camera and our screen or whatever, but we believe you. And so
that's what a vet or a shelter worker would use to scan the pets when they come into the facility.
Okay, and that chip number, right? So that chip that's actually in the dog, it has what information on it?
Currently, microchips only carry a embedded, encoded microchip number that can't be changed. So it's protected. No one's going to be able to change that number and re-register your pet. So it's an encoded, again, for an international chip, a 15-digit number.
Mm-hmm.
That number, you take that number, then go to the registration database, and again, for petlink.net, you register that chip and put in your personal information and your pet information into that registration database. So when a pet shows up at a shelter, they'll scan it, they'll get that 15-digit number, and they'll go to, so for our chips, we're pretty well recognized in the C981 as the first 3 digits. They know that's a PETLINK chip. They'll go to petlink.net or call our call center and say, I have a found pet, can you give me the pet owner information?
Okay, see, that was my question, because I found that most of the public, the general public out here, they're pretty much like me. They're stupid. You know, it's most people are really, really dumb. So I try to make it real easy for people. So the process is not losing animal ever and having to end up in shelter and turning into a carcass that somebody euthanized and threw, and then they're going to recycle your dog for protein to go back into the food system. I'm just breaking it down to the, you know, this is what happens. Your dog will be protein, you know, if you do not get your dog chipped, if you do not care enough to be responsible to, you know, I mean, pets are a family. You know, you send kids out with cell phones, and you need to chip your kids too. But that's a whole other story. But
yeah, we won't go there. We won't go there.
Right. You know, but
so, there's an important website on the presentation slide that everyone should know about. Certainly for shelter or rescue or veterinary clinic.
Exactly.
So there's a website, a search engine AHA maintains, so the American Animal Hospital Association, and the website is called petmicrochiplookup.org.
Okay.
And it's not a search engine that currently looks at 14 different microchip registration databases used in the U.S. So if you're not sure if your chip is registered or where it's registered, you can go to petmicrochiplookup.org, type in your microchip number, and it'll do a search and see if that microchip is registered with any of those participating databases. Wow. So we participate with that. Unfortunately, there's a couple of the large microchip companies in the U.S. that don't participate with that search engine. There are 14 that currently do. And I was talking about the international travel. One thing that PETLINK offers that no other microchip registration database in the U.S. can is we actually are connected to an international search engine. So if a pet is taken to France and gets lost, it's going to be taken to a local shelter or veterinary clinic in France, obviously, and they're going to use a search engine called petmix.com. It looks at 34 European databases and petlink.net in the U.S. It's the only U.S. database that is, again, connected to a European search engine. So it's the best chance for a pet that does travel out of the U.S. to be reunited with a pet owner, hopefully while that pet and pet owner are still in the country together. And that's one thing we feel very strongly about, having, you never know where a pet's going to end up. So we want to make sure a pet's going to be found and where it goes around the world.
So do you know if Paris Hilton has got her dog chipped?
I don't. I would imagine she does, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, well, you know, that you'd be surprised, man. You know, of how many wealthy people, you know, because I was doing a PSA with a guy, you know, driving a $200,000 car and, you know, $200 shoes and $500 pants and $1,000 shirt and all this, and his dog jumps out the car and, you know, gets away, and he can't find his dog, and find out that the chip only costs $20 and he never put it in, you know? It's like, so you'd be surprised at how many wealthy people, you know, don't. So I was just wondering, so, because, you know, I mean, my dog, he hasn't had the fortune or, you know, the ability to travel internationally, but he's traveled all over the country with me, you know? And, you know, it wasn't until recently that he got chipped, you know, and I think all the times that, you know, he could have got out and gotten away, and, you know, sad.
Yeah, we have a section on our website called Together Again Stories, and there's a scenario for every pet pretty much out there. I mean, people say, well, my cat's an indoor cat, it never goes out. Well, I can show you plenty of stories where people thought that same thing, and then lo and behold, a delivery person left the door open, or kids left the door open, or the person taking care of the cat while they're on vacation, you know, let the cat out accidentally. And so there's usually a scenario. So if you think your cat's always indoors or your dog's always on a leash, there's going to be that one case where they're going to get away and, you didn't microchip it. Again, a lesser chance of that dog or cat getting back home. So the bigger thing, Foster, is too many people that actually pay the money to have their pet protected with a microchip, unfortunately fail to register that microchip and realize that registration is what is key. So
okay, well, let's address that for a second, because I don't know if you answered before when I asked you, when we go to the vet, how do I know I'm getting yours? Do I have to ask for this particular chip, or am I getting the chip that's covered in just in my neighborhood or my state? And then, so go ahead.
Yeah, you're going to get the chip that the vet carries, that they purchase and they have in stock. So
does everybody carry yours?
Ask for PETLINK.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Do I ask if I go in and I want to get Fido, a chip, and I go in and they say, oh no, we and I say, hey, you guys got the PETLINK chip in here, and they say, no, we got the Walmart chip. Then, okay, what do I do then? Like, I'm standing there, I got checkbook in hand, I got Fido in the other hand.
Yeah, you certainly can accept the chip that they carry. And again, there's a number of different options or offerings out there. Or we've certainly had people that learned about us and our product and our cost, and that we're one of the lowest cost lifetime registration companies. They'll search and find a local vet that's using our product and go to that vet to get their pet microchip. We have, vets obviously all across the country. Shelters use us quite heavily, as do a number of rescue groups. Okay,
well, Paula, remind me to come back to this question, because I want to address that a little bit, but go on with the registration process, which is really important.
Yeah, so some vets, because they want to make sure the chip does get registered, will do the registration for the pet owner. In our case, the pet owner would then receive an email. They're expected to log into their account and add additional information, so they can add a second or third contact. I believe we're still the only registration database that actually offers the ability to add 2 alternate contacts, and everybody should do that, because too many times the second contact is the spouse of the pet owner, and if they go on vacation, generally they're on vacation together and somebody else is back home taking care of the pet. And if you can't reach one spouse, you're probably not going to reach the other one. We had a case not too long ago where a gentleman from Virginia was up in Vermont skiing and had a friend taking care of their dog back home. And he was in an area where he didn't get cell service all week. And lo and behold, his pet got out of the yard and showed up at a local shelter. They contacted PETLINK. Again, we tried to reach the pet owner. And we couldn't do that, so the alternate contact was his sister in Florida, and so we contacted her. She got on Facebook and reached a bunch of his friends on Facebook, and a friend of his went and got the pet out of the shelter and had it there waiting when he returned from vacation.
Wow.
So it worked, and so it should work.
Yeah, that could have been ugly, man. Okay, so going back for a second, I know it's always about, for us, what we've done and with our little low budget investigations, it always comes back to follow the money, So what's the vet's, because I know most vets, you have to say that most vets, for the most part, want to do the best that they can for the client, for people and their animals. Why would vets carry these other chips and not yours?
There's been companies that have been around a little bit longer in the U.S. There's companies that are sold by some of the large pharmaceutical companies that vets deal with. So they'll be buying vaccines from a company, and that company may offer a microchip, and they'll buy that microchip from them. So I gotta say, we actually changed our model. We used to be distributed through only one animal health distributorship, and about 3 years ago, we changed our model and business model, and now are distributed 6 of the top health distributorships in the U.S.
Okay.
And in that time, we've grown substantially because more people are learning about us and the simplicity of our program, the low cost, free lifetime registration for the pet owner. And we have, in the past 2 years, had more than 150 vets per month switching from whatever they're currently using to PETLINK, again, because they recognize the quality of the product, the quality of the company, and the ease and simplicity of our program. So again, the pets are sold to the veterinarian and include the lifetime registration for the pet. So it's very easy. Some other companies will solicit for annual membership renewals. When vets learn about our difference and the fact that we're not going to be soliciting their pet owners for a annual fee or other email solicitations for products, they like the fact that we're a non-hassle, non-spamming company and make it very simple and low cost. Because we look at it, if we make it too expensive and try and charge annual fees, then it's less likely for the pet owner to keep their microchip information updated. And again, if the microchip information isn't current, we can't contact the pet owner. So I don't know if you can still see my presentation, but
yes,
we encourage.
It's on the screen, I think, right, Rob?
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the screen. That's live.
So, all right. So one of the things we try to do with every clinic visit, so we have sales reps throughout the country. They're in clinics every day. We are trying to educate clinics about the fact that they should be checking the microchip of a pet during every wellness visit. It's actually the American Veterinary Medical Association protocol or policy that a pet should be scanned every time it visits a vet office. And the reasons for doing that is to, one, make sure the microchip is still functioning, make sure the chip is located properly where it was implanted. And then it's just a reminder that they should be reminding the pet owner to, again, keep their registration current and make sure they know where that chip is registered. So if your vet doesn't offer to scan your pet when you visit, certainly request that the pet be scanned next time you visit your veterinarian for a wellness visit.
Right, because I was going to...
So, because again, you can see we feel strongly that registering is everything.
Yeah.
Microchip can only do its job if the chip is registered and the registration is current.
Right. Now, tell me this: can they break, or how do I know I get my dog chipped? How do I know it's working? Like 3 years from now.
Yep. So that's why you want to ask to have your pet scanned every time you visit the vet office to make sure it is still working. So a microchip should last for the life of the pet. In the past 4 years or so, unfortunately, there's been an influx of microchips that aren't necessarily of great quality, and they may go dormant or stop working after a year, 2 years, or 3 years. So we're trying, again, to educate vets that not every chip, just like everything else, not every chip is the same. You want to buy a chip from a company that's been around for a long time. And again, we are the manufacturer of our chips, so we have our hands on the sources, the components, the products that are used. So one thing that's also kind of shocking to people is that every other microchip sold in the U.S. and every chip sold for years has been made of glass. So it's just it's the material that was found to be safe for the most part in pets, but anything glass can be subject to being having imperfections. We introduced the first polymer microchip in the U.S. about 3 years ago. So our chip is different in its size. It uses a smaller needle. Again, I'm assuming you can see me on the camera. So this is our microchip needle. It's a 14 gauge. So this is kind of the standard, more common microchip needle. And if I be careful with it, if you pull it off, you'll see there's a significant size difference. So that's another reason we're so popular with the vets. They certainly would rather use this needle than this large one.
Oh, yeah, your stream was breaking up a little bit. You're a little squiggly, but I could see the difference there. Yeah, yeah, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. And
then you.
That is pretty small, man. I guess that's one of the reasons that we don't want to do this at home, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And where do they put it at? Like I see on the picture they had where the guy's doing the scan. It's like right in the collar all the time, or what?
Nope. So there is a organization that actually has recommended implantation sites for almost any pet or reptile out there, and for a dog and cat, it's in the upper left between the shoulder blades. So that way, everybody knows where to typically look for a chip. But when someone's scanning a pet, they're going to scan the entire body of the pet. But the implantation site is always in the upper left shoulder blade area of a cat or dog.
Okay. Do they move around?
And we have all kinds of. That's again why you don't want to have just anyone implanting a microchip. So it has to be implanted in a specific way, so it reaches what's called the subcutaneous tissue of the pet. And in that subcutaneous tissue area, scar tissue builds up around the chip to keep it from moving. So we recommend that a pet be kept somewhat calm for a day or so after it's microchipped. Because there are cases you will read stories of microchips migrating, but if implanted properly and the pet's given some time to let that scar tissue build up, it should be in that place for the life of the pet.
Okay, I love that technical term, migrating, like moving around his damn body.
That's why a good skilled technician will always scan down the chest area or lower body area of a pet, just to make sure and see if the chip did happen to migrate. But again, if done properly, that shouldn't be a problem. And I brought up here on the screen now just to reiterate the AHA website that people should go to and see if their chip is registered.
Okay. Hold 1 second. We're gonna. Hold 1 second for me, Steve. We got caller on.
Sure.
Okay. We got a caller on before we continue with the presentation. Can bring the caller up and see if it's related. Hello, who's on the line?
Hey, Foster, it's Richard.
Oh, no, not you.
Okay, I'll hang out, Dennis.
No, I'm here. Hey, Richard, how are you? Hey, Paula was just telling me, she sent me a message that said you're responsible for introducing us to Steve.
Well, I did my research before we started microchipping as a rescue, we did our research for a long, long time. I ran into this wonderful lady named Gabby, who is actually the one that connected you with Steve. I just connected to my rep, who's named Gabby Evans, who I just love to death. She is an awesome part of what we do, and she has helped me. We've learned everything from how to insert the microchips to finding the best microchip on the market for us, the best cost-effective and everything else. She's helped us all the way along the line. And, when we did all of our research and came back, it was PETLINK that we chose because we knew with them being in business as long as they have, making the scanners, making their own chips and making sure that the quality of the chip stayed up, the fact that they were polymer instead of glass made us feel good because there are stories out there where the glass chips, the dog has gotten hit by a car, gotten rolled, the chip's broken, now the chip no longer works, so the dog is still lost and euthanized in a shelter if it gets lost. So
that
we went
makes
with
sense.
the polymer-based, and and then there was one other thing that Gabby brought up that I really, really fell in love with PETLINK for because they had this wonderful thing called the guardianship feature. And I got a little story that goes with that because we adopt our dogs out at adoption events, and this young man came in and adopted one of our dogs, and we did a background check, and we didn't do the home check yet because he really wanted to take this dog with him, blah blah blah, surprise his girlfriend and everything else. And we were like, okay, his references came back so good, so we went ahead and let him do it. Which we learned our mistake from there, but we went ahead and microchipped the dog that day before the pet left, and thank God we did because within a week we get a phone call. And we'd already registered the chip to the guy because when we do our chipping, we register for them, so we know that dog is registered. Then and then PETLINK takes an email and sends it to them. We always stick on there as guardianship, and that is a good feature for us because if by chance you don't do any follow-ups, you don't do any other changes of your addresses you move around, then we get a notification.
Right.
And then that means our dog. Our pet that we spent time, energy, and effort in rescuing is not going to get euthanized. So we get a call, and they go, "Hey, Mr. Jennings, we have your dog." You know, and blah blah blah. We can't get a hold of the owner. Well, this young man took our dog, and within a week, instead of him keeping the dog, he takes the dog to a very high kill shelter, drops the dog off. Thank God they had a universal scanner, scanned the pet, found out it was ours, tried to contact the guy. He said, "Oh, that's not my dog. I don't know what you're talking about," because we'd already registered the microchip to him. But when they couldn't find him, they contacted us through the guardianship feature that PETLINK, and they're the only ones that I know do this. They gave us a phone call and said, "Hey, we have your dog at this shelter, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Holy crap! How'd that dog get there?" So I went to the shelter, got my dog. The woman took the intake officer, told me everything that happened, and we were able to save our dog. Had that chip not been implanted, had that guardian feature not been there from PETLINK, had we not been contacted, that dog wouldn't be with us today.
Wow, that's amazing. Did you ever catch up with the guy?
Oh yeah.
What was his story?
He said he couldn't handle a puppy that poops. I'm like, dude, you knew the dog was only 12 weeks old when you adopted it. You knew it was going to have accidents. You know, they're not housebroken yet.
Oh, wait a minute. Rich, you tell me, he said that he couldn't handle a dog that shit?
Yeah, that's basically what it boils down to. He couldn't handle the dog having accidents in his house.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
Okay. He lied to the animal control officer, so... And she happens to be a friend of mine. She says, "Well, do you mean to press charges?" And I said, "Please do." So she got him for lying to an animal control officer. It wasn't a big deal. He got a fine and got a slap on the wrist, but he got something.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he had to be responsible. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. He had to answer for his actions, which everyone needs to do. Yeah, that's amazing, man. So, hey, right there, there's a ringing endorsement for you there, Steve, huh?
Yeah, we love Richard. So, Richard, thank you very much for that. And, we love Gabby Evans, too. So she's a great representative for us.
Absolutely. Okay. So, Richard, you're welcome to stick on, for the rest of the show. I mean, speaking of traveling, you're the original road guy, So
yes, sir, I am.
So you can hang with us. But okay, so Steve, I don't know where you were at with the presentation, but wait a minute. I'm being told that I need to pay some bills. So since you're not a sponsor yet, Steve, I'm gonna say hold on, and we need to do a commercial, for someone that's making it possible for us to be on the air. So we'll be right back. All right.